Okay, I'm just gonna pretend that the microphone is working as it should. Hi everybody, welcome to my studio. My name is Janine Golia and today we're gonna be doing a little DIY. I found this really cool footstool at this tag sale shop place. Basically it's like a big flea market inside of a store. And I don't love the fabric, so I'm gonna be reupholstering it. So the first thing you're gonna need is some fabric. Some scraps you may have lying around. Maybe there's like an old tablecloth you don't use anymore and you really love the fabric, you can use that as well. You're going to need your big good scissors. You're going to need a measuring tape and some pins and a staple gun. I also have a hammer here in case I need to knock some of the staples into the bottom of this thing. So most of this video is going to be like fast forwarding through me going through the process. So let's go. We have here this really cute fabric. I don't know where I got it. I think it was probably one of the gifts my mother gave me. I think this is going to be great for the sides. See that? Wrap it up like that. And then this fabric I got at a flea market years ago, and it's perfect because it is an upholstery fabric, and we're just going to use that to go over the top. So you're going to drape your bigger piece over the top of your footstool. Just center. Okay, there's plenty to go around here. Make sure that you have enough fabric to at least cover that full circle on the top. And then what we're going to do is flip it, reverse it, and make your markings or use pins for your marker around the top of it. So I've got my fabric pencil. Hopefully it'll work for me today. I find these pencils don't work that great, but I don't want to mark it so that I can't get the mark out of it later on. Yeah, this bitch ain't working that great. Okay, we're going to use some pins then to mark out the perimeter, the circumference of the top of the footstool. And we'll fast forward through that. Okay, so I've kind of marked everything with my pins. We're going to remove the fabric. Oops, I marked everything with my pins, and we're going to remove the fabric from the top of the footstool. And what you'll have is let me just pin this to my lapel. What you'll have is a big circle marked. So what you're going to do now is give yourself some space, get it to lay flat. And we're going to cut around the perimeter of that circle. You want to leave at least a half an inch, I tend to go for more of the inch just in case we need to tweak the size of it. You can always cut more from something that's too large versus cutting from what's not there. Okay, so again, I'll be fast forwarding through this part, cutting out our circle. Okay, our circle is cut out. So now we can go ahead and remove the pins from the back. That's the first part. Okay. So let's drape it over the top of your tuffet, your footstool. Make sure it's a good fit. We got plenty of excess over the sides. Very good. Looking beautiful so far. All right, and for this next bit, we want to measure the length of the circumference of your footstool. Make sure it's straight. Okay, 56.5 inches. And we want to take our other fabric, or maybe it's the same fabric, and make sure that you have enough of length to go around the sides. And in this case, I know I do not. So I'm going to be making an extra long length. Here is where having a sewing machine is very helpful. You can do this by hand. If you're patient and you don't mind taking like a couple hours to do some hand stitching, I am going to use my machine. It's just faster. So for this part, I'm going to cut and snip this video, and I'll come back with the length that we need. Okay, we're back. I've done my stitch witchery, and I've created a length that will fit around our tuffet, our footstool. And now we're gonna take it. Oh, and one thing, I forgot to mention this before. You do need to measure the height of where the tuffet is on your footstool, obviously. And I measured it at, it was 8 inches from the outside. So you want to add at least 2 more inches because we're going to be stapling the bottom of our fabric to the tuffet. Okay, so you want to have at least 10 inches to work with for height. Okay, removing the top piece of fabric that we cut, taking our long piece of fabric and turning it inside out. We're going to go around and hug our footstool. Happy little footstool. Okay, take it around. And you want to like give yourself a 1/2 inch of leeway with your fabric from where you're going, because you want to make sure you have enough fabric to stitch to our round part, our circular part, the top part. Okay, that looks about right. So this is the side where the 2 pieces meet. Okay, I have some extra length here. All right. So you're going to take the ends and you're going to either baste, which means taking your, taking your needle and thread and sewing with your hand, sewing the end of your fabric. But since I can't seem to find my needle and thread that I had prepared, probably fell on the floor, I'm going to pin it. And you want to make sure that it's nice and tight against the side of your footstool, or whatever it is that you can use this process for not just a footstool that looks like this. You can use it for other things as well. And you might notice I forgone, my microphone is gone because I don't think it was working, and I don't have time to figure out how it works at the moment because I'm making a footstool with you guys. Okay, so that's all pinned up on the side there. All right, and now for this top part, we're going to lay our fabric again, back side up, so the right side is facing inward. And just grab your ends, the edges of your fabric, and I recommend that you hand sew it, you baste it with a really loose long stitch, or you can pin it, but I just think it's going to be more effective if you baste it. And if you don't know what basting is and you want to know what it is, just look up sewing techniques basting, because I don't have a video on that yet. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm going to do this off camera. I'm going to go around the top and baste everything, just like you see. Like I'm getting a really close cinch, so you can see, like making it nice and neat around the top of that. Okay. I'm done basting the top and the sides of our tuffet, our footstool, and now comes the reveal. We're going to pull this fabric that you just basted from your footstool. Okay, so what you have is your mock-up of what we're going to be placing over the top of your footstool. Here we go. See that? Yep, I'm getting excited. It's starting to look really good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut the excess fabric from the ends, making sure I leave at least a 1/2 inch seam allowance, leaving a 1/2 inch around where you sewed. I'm going to machine sew it, and then I will come back to you, and then we can do the final touches, which is just going to be stapling this to the bottom of our stool. All right, stick with me. Okay, everybody, I have finished sewing the reupholstered part of our footstool. And you can see it's all ready to go, and this is the most exciting part, I think. We're going to take it, we're going to turn it back to the right side out, and we are going to place it like a glove over the top of our footstool. Hopefully like a glove. This might take a minute. Okay, it should fit just right because we did form this on top of the actual footstool. Yay! Oh, it's looking so good so far. It's like putting a stocking on a very fat cat. There we go. Oh, yay! I'm so proud of myself. That looks so good. Okay, we're not done yet. We're almost there. So you want to stretch it. Hopefully you did a really secure, tight stitch around the top of your fabric because we do have to manhandle it a little bit, woman handle it a little bit. Okay. All right. So once you have it in place, make sure it's pretty even. Like this side can come up a little bit more. So sort of wrangle it and get it into place. Okay. Make sure you have enough allowance on the bottoms, because we're going to be stapling that bottom to the underside of our stool. Okay, we are ready to flip it. Okay, and now we're going to start pulling up the sides and the ends, and take your big staple gun. This is a Arrow Fastener Company staple gun model T50P. You can use the extra long staples if you are a strong person and you don't mind muscling this thing. I'm using a shorter staple. We really don't need to go too hard on this one, okay? And we'll just go around. Fail. Good. Now, if you don't have direct access to a staple gun and you really want to get this thing done, you can use glue. It'll take a little bit longer and a little more finesse. Hot glue, that would probably be your best bet. If you got a hot glue gun in the house and you can hot glue it, just make sure that you've given yourself enough fabric on the sides to do the hot gluing, because you can't really pull too tight if you're going to be gluing it. Alright, I'm going to do this loosely for you on camera so you can just about get what the finished effect would be. Fail. Okay. Okay, so I kind of have it loosely stapled to the bottom here, and you can see what I've done. Okay, and there you have it. Your really cool DIY footstool for pennies on the dollar. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like this video, please favorite the video. If you like what you've been seeing on my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Next time, I'm going to be making a DIY TV tray cart thing. My husband and I finally broke down and we bought a TV after like 15 years of not having one so that we can watch our DVDs on it. So it's going to be sitting on the floor in the living room, and we're going to be needing something to prop it up on. So I'll be making a DIY TV cart with wheels on it. If you want to join me next time, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have joyful creating coming up in your near future, and namaste.